You know, it's fascinating how often I hear the same quiet frustrations whispered in my clinic. Men over 60, sharp as tacks, full of life experience, yet feeling like their bodies are subtly betraying them. If you've noticed your erection isn't quite as firm or reliable as it used to be, if that constant, nagging fatigue feels like a heavy blanket you just can't shake off, or if you find yourself pulling back from intimacy not because you don't want it, but because, well, things just aren't cooperating down there, listen closely. It might not simply be the march of time catching up with you. Honestly, it could be something far more straightforward, something surprisingly fixable, a quiet, persistent shortage of three absolutely critical vitamins. Your body, believe it or not, is practically whispering, maybe even pleading for them right now. I'm Dr. Lucy, and for over 3 decades, yes, more than 30 years, I've dedicated my practice to helping men just like you, guys over 60, rediscover the vibrant energy, the solid strength, and yes, the genuine sexual confidence they feared was lost forever to the calendar. Here's the thing most doctors won't emphasize enough: the insight gained from countless consultations. A huge number of older men aren't lacking desire. Not at all. What they're genuinely lacking is often three fundamental pillars: optimal blood flow, sustained physical endurance, and balanced hormone levels, particularly testosterone. And incredibly, often the solution isn't hidden in a prescription bottle or some exotic therapy. More often than not, the fix is sitting right there on your dinner plate, waiting to be recognized and utilized. Seriously, drop a comment below and let me know which country or even city you're tuning in from today. It absolutely blows my mind seeing just how far this vital message is traveling, and I genuinely love connecting with each and every one of you, hearing your stories. Today, I'm going to lay it out clearly: the exact three vitamins that every man cruising past 60 should seriously consider making a cornerstone of his health regimen. I'll explain precisely how these nutrients can be game changers, helping to restore natural, firm erections, give your testosterone levels a much needed nudge in the right direction, and honestly, bring your daily energy back from the brink, making you feel genuinely alive again. Stick with me because in just a little bit, I'll also pull back the curtain on the single most dangerous, yet incredibly common, mistake men make when trying to supplement with these very vitamins, and crucially, how you can easily sidestep that pitfall starting as soon as tonight. Before we dive deep into this, do me a solid, hit that subscribe button and give the notification bell a tap. This ensures you never miss another one of these vital, potentially life-changing health tips crafted specifically with the unique needs of men over 60 in mind. And hey, if this message resonates with you, if it feels like I'm speaking directly to your situation, go ahead and type 1 in the comments below. If it doesn't quite hit home right now, type 0, but please do tell me how I could make this content even more relevant and helpful for you. Okay, enough preamble. Let's get straight down to the brass tacks. We start with the first, and arguably the most frequently underestimated, key to revitalizing blood flow and fostering those natural, satisfying erections after 60. It's something your younger body used to produce almost effortlessly, especially when you spent lazy afternoons soaking up the sun. But as those birthdays stack up, your levels can plummet sharply, and tragically, so does your circulation, your zest, and yes, your sexual performance. I'm talking about vitamin D, often dubbed the sunshine vitamin. But for you right now, it might just be the essential bedrock for reclaiming your physical strength and that deep-seated sense of confidence. Let me break down exactly why. Vitamin D, the circulation spark plug. The memory is still vivid. Sitting across from Paul, a sharp, thoughtful 67-year-old gentleman. There was a deep frustration etched on his face as he leaned in, his voice dropping slightly. "Doc," he confessed almost apologetically, "I still crave that closeness with my wife, that intimacy, but my body, it just won't cooperate anymore." That quiet admission, that mix of longing and helplessness, is one I've heard echoed, with heartbreaking similarity, from hundreds upon hundreds of men over my years in practice. And more often than not, the absolute starting point to reigniting that vital spark isn't some complex pharmaceutical concoction or invasive procedure. It's surprisingly fundamental. It's vitamin D. Honestly, vitamin D remains one of the most profoundly underestimated nutrients when it comes to the holistic health of men navigating their 60s, 70s, and beyond. We tend to pigeonhole it. Oh, that's the sun vitamin, or that's for kids' bones. But the reality, backed by a growing body of robust research, including recent studies like the 2023 meta-analysis in the Journals of Gerontology highlighting its role in vascular health, is far more significant. Vitamin D plays a direct, incredibly potent role in male sexual function and vitality. Think of it as the master switch that helps your blood vessels relax, open up, and efficiently deliver that crucial, oxygen rich blood throughout your entire system. Yes, absolutely, including those areas central to your masculinity and performance. Without sufficient vitamin D acting as this biological lubricant, circulation inevitably slows down, becoming sluggish. Energy levels take a nosedive, and intimacy transforms from a joyful connection into an uphill battle fraught with anxiety and disappointment. It's staggering. Research consistently shows that over 40% of older adults are clinically deficient in vitamin D. We're talking about otherwise healthy men, guys who might hit the gym a few times a week, who try to eat reasonably well, yet still find themselves asking that haunting question: why don't I feel like myself anymore? Where did that vitality go? The mechanism is clear. When your vitamin D levels dip too low, your body struggles to produce adequate nitric oxide. Now, nitric oxide isn't just some obscure molecule, it's absolutely essential. It's the primary chemical signal that tells your blood vessels to dilate, enabling that surge of blood flow critical not only for achieving and maintaining an erection, but also for overall cardiovascular health, stamina, mental clarity, and yes, that underlying sense of confidence that comes with feeling physically capable. A 2024 study published in Nutrients specifically linked optimal vitamin D status with improved endothelial function, that's the health of your blood vessel lining, and enhanced nitric oxide bioavailability in older men, directly impacting erectile quality. The fantastic news? Correcting a vitamin D deficiency doesn't require Herculean effort or radical life changes. Simple, consistent strategies work wonders, aiming for 15 to 20 minutes of gentle morning sunlight exposure, without burning, of course, consciously incorporating more fatty fish like salmon or tuna into your weekly meals, opting for fortified dairy or plant milks, and crucially, supplementing with a high-quality vitamin D3, cholecalciferol form. I've witnessed firsthand the transformations. Patients who previously struggled to muster the energy for a simple walk around the block suddenly reporting feeling reinvigorated, more engaged, and crucially, reconnected intimately with their partners. This isn't just hopeful thinking, it's solid biochemistry in action, representing one of the most accessible and potent ways to actively reclaim your foundational strength and vitality. And this is a significant, but as powerful as vitamin D truly is in getting the blood flowing, it can only take you part of the way. Because even if your circulation is significantly improved, your body still needs the raw cellular energy to power that movement, to sustain it over time, and to effectively translate that blood flow into tangible, confident action. That's precisely where our second absolutely indispensable vitamin enters the picture. And honestly, if you've ever found yourself feeling inexplicably drained, sluggish, or mentally foggy despite getting enough sleep, this next nutrient might just be the missing key to unlocking the sustained energy reservoir you've been yearning for. Let's dive into vitamin B12. Vitamin B12, the cellular energy generator. Picture Robert, 72 years young, a retired firefighter whose very presence still commanded respect, a proud grandfather who lit up talking about his family. Yet, beneath that strong exterior, he looked utterly drained, almost hollowed out by fatigue. "Doc," he said, his voice heavy with confusion, "I'm clocking a solid 8 hours most nights. I eat my 3 squares, try to make decent choices, but I still feel like I'm dragging a sack of bricks through every single day. My brain feels wrapped in cotton wool. My body's just tired. And when it comes time to be close with my wife, forget about it. I simply don't have anything left in the tank. His story resonated deeply because it was painfully common, yet so easily overlooked or dismissed as just getting older. What Robert was describing in textbook detail was a classic vitamin B12 deficiency, a scenario I encounter in a staggering number of men over 60. This vitamin isn't just important for energy, it's absolutely central to the fundamental process of cellular energy production. It acts as a vital cofactor in the metabolic pathways that convert the food you eat, carbohydrates, fats, and proteins, into adenosine triphosphate, ADP, the pure, usable energy currency that powers every single cell, tissue, and organ in your body. Without sufficient B12 acting as this essential spark plug in your cellular engine, this conversion process sputters and stalls. No matter how nutritious your diet might be, no matter how many hours of sleep you log, without enough B12, your entire system is effectively running on fumes, operating far below its potential. Furthermore, B12 plays a non negotiable role in the formation of healthy red blood cells within your bone marrow. These red blood cells are the dedicated cargo ships tasked with transporting life giving oxygen from your lungs to every corner of your body, your hardworking muscles, your constantly active brain, and yes, critically, your sexual organs. When B12 deficiency leads to fewer or malformed red blood cells, a condition known as megaloblastic anemia, common in older adults, that oxygen delivery falters. Everything slows down. Your physical stamina evaporates, your mental focus becomes fuzzy and unreliable, and you can feel profoundly disconnected from the passions and pleasures that once excited you, including intimacy. Here's the crucial catch that many men, and sadly some doctors, miss. As you age, your body's ability to absorb vitamin B12 from food significantly declines. This decline often starts subtly in your 50s and becomes more pronounced thereafter. The main reason? Reduced production of stomach acid and intrinsic factor, a protein essential for B12 absorption in the small intestine. So, even if you're diligently consuming meat, eggs, or dairy, the primary dietary sources, a significant portion of that B12 might simply be passing through you unabsorbed. That's why so many otherwise healthy older men report feeling chronically tired, inexplicably weak, or plagued by persistent brain fog, even when routine blood tests that don't specifically probe B12 status deeply come back looking normal. The solution, thankfully, can be remarkably straightforward and effective. Increasing bioavailable B12 levels, typically through high-quality supplementation, specifically in the active forms methylcobalamin or adenosylcobalamin, which bypass absorption issues, or, in cases of severe deficiency or pernicious anemia, through periodic doctor-administered injections, can work near miracles. I've observed men transform before my eyes, shifting from barely staying awake through the afternoon to actively hiking trails, laughing with genuine gusto, and being fully, vibrantly present with their partners and families. This dramatic shift isn't magic. It's the direct result of correcting a fundamental biochemical deficiency they likely never knew was silently sabotaging their vitality. But while restoring cellular energy is a massive piece of the puzzle, it's not the entire picture. Your body also needs robust protection, something that actively strengthens the integrity of your blood vessels, combats the chronic, low-grade inflammation that silently damages tissues over time, and crucially, supports the delicate balance of the very hormones that underpin masculine vitality, especially testosterone. That vital protective and supportive role brings us to the third essential vitamin. It's often narrowly labeled the fertility vitamin, but its profound impact extends far, far beyond just reproduction. In fact, without sufficient levels, your testosterone production and circulatory health might already be on a subtle, downward slope. Let's take a much closer look at vitamin E. Vitamin E, the vitality protector and hormone supporter. James stands out in my memory, a 70-year-old retired airline pilot, a man accustomed to precision, discipline, and control. He walked into my clinic not angry, but deeply frustrated and confused. "Doc," he began, his usual confident demeanor replaced by a palpable weariness. I feel like I'm doing everything right. I watch my diet like a hawk: lean proteins, vegetables, whole grains. I exercise regularly, nothing crazy, but consistent. I get my checkups. But lately, I feel off. My drive is way down, almost absent. I don't bounce back after exertion like I used to. Honestly, he paused, his voice dropping. I just don't feel like a man anymore. What's wrong with me? That raw honesty struck a chord because James wasn't careless or lazy. He was disciplined, proud, and demonstrably committed to his well being. Yet, he was missing a critical element, something most conventional medical checkups rarely emphasize for men his age: vitamin E. Reducing vitamin E to merely a fertility aid or a skin health supplement is a massive understatement of its true power, especially concerning mature male health. Vitamin E isn't just an antioxidant, it's one of the body's primary fat-soluble antioxidants. This means it specializes in neutralizing free radicals, those unstable, highly reactive molecules generated naturally through metabolism and significantly amplified by factors like stress, environmental toxins, and simply the wear and tear of aging. Unchecked free radicals cause oxidative stress, a destructive process that silently damages cell membranes, proteins, and, crucially, the DNA within cells. This oxidative stress is a major driver of chronic inflammation and the gradual degradation of tissues, including the delicate endothelial lining of your blood vessels and the Leydig cells in your testes responsible for testosterone production. As this damage accumulates over years, blood flow efficiency weakens, impacting erectile function. Testosterone levels can gradually dip, and overall energy reserves feel constantly depleted. It's not usually a sudden crash, it's a slow, insidious erosion. And without realizing it, men like James begin to lose their physical and mental edge, that sense of robust vitality. What makes vitamin E particularly crucial for men over 60 is its specific role in maintaining vascular health. It helps keep blood vessel walls flexible and resilient, promoting healthy circulation. Achieving and sustaining a firm erection isn't just about arousal signals. It's fundamentally a hydraulic event dependent on unimpeded blood flow into the penile tissues. When inflammation and oxidative stress stiffen and damage those vessels, blood simply can't surge and effectively or stay trapped efficiently, leading to performance issues. But vitamin E's benefits extend well beyond circulation. Emerging research, including a compelling 2023 study in andrology, suggests that adequate vitamin E status, specifically in its gamma-tocopherol form, prominent in foods like nuts and seeds, plays a supportive role in testosterone synthesis and metabolism. After 60, when natural testosterone production is naturally declining, supporting every facet of its production and function becomes paramount. Low testosterone isn't confined to the bedroom. It profoundly affects mood, increasing risk of irritability or low mood, saps motivation and drive, and can erode that essential sense of purpose and confidence that defines a man's spirit. The positive news is that restoring and maintaining healthy vitamin E levels is both easy and delicious. Excellent dietary sources include a handful of almonds, sunflower seeds, or peanuts, incorporating healthy oils like extra virgin olive oil or wheat germ oil into dressings or cooking, and loading up on leafy greens like spinach, Swiss chard, and broccoli. For those who struggle to get enough through diet alone, or whose absorption might be compromised, a high-quality natural mixed tocopherol supplement containing alpha, beta, gamma, and delta forms, ideally derived from natural sources rather than synthetic DL-alpha tocopherol alone, can effectively fill the gap. I've seen men like James return for follow-ups months later, often with a noticeable spark back in their eyes and a genuine smile. They report feeling sharper mentally, physically stronger during daily activities, and, crucially, more deeply connected to their lives and relationships. It's a testament to the profound impact of addressing this protective pillar. Now, you might be sitting there thinking, okay, each of these sounds helpful individually, but what happens when you actually combine these three powerhouse vitamins? Is there some kind of synergistic magic, a way they amplify each other's effects to deliver results greater than the sum of their parts? The answer, grounded in both clinical observation and nutritional biochemistry, is a resounding yes. In fact, when strategically combined and taken consistently in their optimal forms, these nutrients create a powerful, self reinforcing ripple effect that can transform not just isolated symptoms like low energy or erectile difficulties, but your entire lived experience of aging, how you feel, function, and engage with the world every single day. Let's explore this crucial synergy. Why these three vitamins work better together. The vitality synergy years ago. Walter, a spry 68-year-old retired high school football coach who prided himself on staying active and mentally sharp, became a perfect illustration of this synergy in action. He'd initially started taking vitamin D after reading about its benefits for bone health. Feeling persistently tired a few months later, he added a B12 supplement on my suggestion. Later, after learning about its role in testosterone and circulation, he incorporated vitamin E. He noticed minor improvements with each addition, a bit less fatigue with B12, maybe slightly better mood with E. But it wasn't until he committed to taking all three consistently, in their bioavailable forms and appropriate doses, that the real transformation kicked in. I vividly recall him striding into my office one crisp autumn afternoon, a wide grin spreading across his face before he even sat down. "Doc," he announced, clapping his hands together, "I don't know exactly what alchemy you prescribed, but I swear I feel like I've got a brand new engine under the hood. Energy like I haven't had in years, clear-headed, and..." He leaned in conspiratorially. "Things are definitely working better where it counts." That, right there, encapsulates the power of nutrient synergy. These vitamins don't operate in isolated silos. They engage in a complex, supportive biochemical dance, each one amplifying and reinforcing the effects of the others. Think of it like a well-coordinated team. Vitamin D acts as the facilitator, primarily boosting circulation by enhancing the production and bioavailability of nitric oxide, NO, effectively widening the pipes for blood flow. Vitamin B12 steps in as the fuel manager, significantly increasing the production of healthy red blood cells. These red blood cells are then primed to carry more oxygen through those now more open, de-optimized vessels, delivering life-sustaining oxygen far more efficiently to muscles, the brain, and yes, the genital tissues. Meanwhile, vitamin E serves as the essential protector and regulator. It shields the delicate endothelial lining of those blood vessels from the damaging effects of inflammation and oxidative stress, which D and B12 alone don't directly address, ensuring they remain flexible and functional for optimal blood delivery long term. Simultaneously, by supporting healthier testosterone metabolism and reducing oxidative stress on hormone-producing cells, E helps ensure the underlying drive and cellular signaling, fueled by the energy from B12 and supported by the circulation from D, are present and functioning optimally. Together, they create what I've come to call the vitality triangle: robust circulation, D, plus sustained cellular energy, B12, plus hormonal and vascular protection/support, E. This triad works in elegant harmony, addressing the core physiological pillars that naturally tend to weaken with age. This synergy is especially critical after 60 because your body's inherent resilience mechanisms don't bounce back with the same speed or efficiency as they did in your 30s or 40s. Nutrient absorption becomes less efficient due to reduced stomach acid and changes in gut health. Low-grade, systemic inflammation, tends to build up over the years. Recovery from physical or metabolic stress takes longer. In this context, having just one key player missing from the team, say, good D levels but deficient B12, can significantly blunt the overall potential benefits, leaving you feeling like something is still off despite your efforts. But when you bring these three foundational nutrients together consistently, in their bioavailable forms, your body gets the comprehensive support it desperately needs. You might find yourself waking up feeling genuinely more rested, not just less tired. Mental fog can lift, replaced by clearer thinking and sharper focus. Your physical responses, not just sexually, but in everyday movements and stamina, often become quicker and more reliable. Perhaps most profoundly, a quiet sense of confidence, a feeling of being grounded and capable in your own skin, frequently returns. This is a deep, authentic vitality that no single prescription medication can truly manufacture. Walter wasn't a rare exception. I've witnessed remarkably similar transformations in countless men who make these synergistic nutrients a non negotiable part of their daily health regimen. However, and this is a critical however, the unfortunate truth is that most men who try supplementing never experience these full synergistic benefits. Why? Because they're often unknowingly, innocently making a very common, yet crucial mistake that effectively cancels out the very progress they're diligently striving for. If you're considering taking action based on what you've learned here, you absolutely need to know what this pitfall is and, more importantly, exactly how to avoid it. Let's pull back the curtain on this widespread error. The one critical mistake most men make, and how to avoid it. Picture Gerald, a thoughtful, well-read 74-year-old gentleman who walked into my office one morning carrying a literal plastic grocery bag bulging with supplement bottles. He carefully spread them out across my desk, a small mountain of promises in pill form. "Doc," he said, his voice thick with disappointment and confusion, "I've been religiously taking all of these, just like the labels say, for months now. Spent a small fortune, too. But honestly, I still feel exhausted most of the time. My head feels foggy, like I'm thinking through syrup. And down below," he shook his head sadly. "Absolutely no improvement. Nothing. What am I doing wrong?" That palpable sense of frustration and wasted effort is something I hear far too often. The single biggest mistake men, especially those over 60, make when venturing into supplementation is this: assuming that simply taking any vitamin supplement is enough. They often buy the cheapest bottles off the discount store shelf or the most heavily advertised brand online, operating under the mistaken belief that a vitamin is a vitamin, that all forms and sources are essentially created equal. Nothing could be further from the truth. The bioavailability, meaning how well your body can actually absorb and utilize the nutrient, varies dramatically depending on the specific chemical form used and the overall quality of the supplement. Taking the wrong form, especially as absorption naturally declines with age, is often like pouring water into a leaky bucket. You're putting effort in, but very little usable benefit stays inside. Let's break it down with our three key players. 1. Vitamin B12. The vast majority of cheap, mass market supplements use cyanocobalamin. While technically a form of B12, it requires your liver to perform a conversion step to turn it into the active forms your cells actually use: methylcobalamin and adenosylcobalamin. This conversion process becomes less efficient with age and can be particularly problematic for individuals with certain genetic variations, like MTHFR mutations, surprisingly common, or compromised liver/kidney function. The result? Much of that cyanocobalamin might pass through you unused. The solution: seek out supplements specifically containing methylcobalamin and/or adenosylcobalamin. These are the pre-activated forms that bypass the conversion bottleneck, allowing your cells to utilize the B12 immediately and efficiently. 2. Vitamin D. While vitamin D3, cholecalciferol, is widely recognized as superior to D2, ergocalciferol, for raising and maintaining blood levels, not all D3 is equal. Factors like the source, lanolin versus lichen, the carrier oil in soft gels, and CT oil enhances absorption versus cheap soybean oil, and whether it's combined with vitamin K2, which helps direct calcium to bones, not arteries, can impact effectiveness. Cheap D3 might be poorly absorbed or lack these synergistic cofactors. 3. Vitamin E. This is where the mistake is perhaps most common and damaging. Many generic supplements use synthetic DL-alpha tocopherol. This isolated form is not only less potent than natural forms, but research, including a notable 2022 review in Free Radical Biology and Medicine, suggests that high doses of only alpha tocopherol can actually deplete other crucial tocopherols and tocotrienols like gamma tocopherol. naturally found in food, which have their own unique and important health benefits, including anti inflammatory effects crucial for vascular and hormonal health. The solution: choose a natural mixed tocopherol supplement. Look for labels stating D-alpha tocopherol, the natural form, and ideally listing beta, gamma, and delta tocopherols as well. Some advanced formulas also include tocotrienols for broader antioxidant coverage. Avoid DL-alpha tocopherol. The DL prefix indicates synthetic. Want the consistency factor. Another huge mistake is inconsistency. Popping a vitamin sporadically, only when you remember, maybe twice a week, simply won't cut it. Your body thrives on rhythm and steady state nutrition. Rebuilding cellular energy pathways, repairing endothelial function, and gently supporting hormonal balance requires daily, consistent support over weeks and months. This isn't about chasing an overnight miracle, it's about laying a solid, daily foundation for sustained vitality. Think of it like building a brick wall. One brick every day builds something strong. Sporadic bursts of effort leave a shaky, incomplete structure. When Gerald, under my guidance, switched from his bag of generic, synthetic supplements to targeted, high-quality versions of D3, methylcobalamin B12, and natural mixed tocopherols E, and committed to taking them every single day without fail, the difference wasn't subtle. Within about a month, he reported sleeping more soundly, waking up feeling genuinely refreshed rather than groggy, and experiencing a noticeable return of his energy throughout the day. Most importantly, he looked me in the eye and said, with quiet conviction, "I feel like a man again, document." Thank you. That profound shift didn't come from trying harder with the wrong tools. It came from doing it right with the right ones. Now that you understand not only what these vital nutrients are, but also why they work so well together and the critical mistakes to avoid, the natural next step is figuring out how to seamlessly integrate this knowledge into your daily life. You might be thinking, this sounds great, but how do I actually do this without it becoming another complicated chore, another thing to remember and stress about? That's a perfectly valid concern, and it's exactly what we'll tackle next. A simple, realistic, no nonsense daily routine designed specifically for busy men over 60 who want results without the hassle. Let's build your personalized vitality plan, your simple, sustainable daily vitality routine. When men sit down with me in the clinic, one of the most frequent, heartfelt requests I hear is, "Doc, just cut through the noise. Tell me plainly what I need to do each day." I don't need complex theories or a dozen new rituals. I need something straightforward, something I can actually stick with, something that works to help me feel strong and like myself again. I deeply respect this request because it reflects the practical wisdom of men who've lived full lives. You know that consistency beats intensity every single time, especially at this stage. So, let me share Frank's story. Frank was a pragmatic 66-year-old former carpenter who came to me after months of battling low energy, restless sleep, and a fading sense of confidence in his intimate life. We didn't embark on a radical life overhaul. Instead, we focused on building one simple, powerful daily routine centered squarely on optimizing these three key vitamins. Here's the essence of the plan he followed and thrived on. Morning kickstart. Within 30 to 60 minutes of waking. Hydration first. Start with a large glass of water. Warm or room temperature is fine. Hydration is crucial for all bodily functions, including nutrient absorption and circulation. Vitamin B12. Methylcobalamin. Take your high-quality B12 supplement with your breakfast. Why with breakfast? B12 absorption is generally better with food, especially protein. Frank opted for a sublingual, under the tongue, methylcobalamin lozenge that dissolved quickly, ensuring direct absorption into the bloodstream, bypassing potential gut issues. He'd let it dissolve while sipping his coffee before eating. Sunlight and vitamin D. After breakfast, Frank made a non-negotiable habit of a short, 15 to 20-minute walk outside. This served a dual purpose: gentle movement to get the blood flowing, and exposure to natural sunlight to stimulate his skin's own vitamin D production. He aimed for morning sun when UVB rays, needed for desynthesis, are present but less intense. Crucially, on cloudy days, rainy days, winter months, or if he simply couldn't get outside, he took his high quality vitamin D3 with K2 supplement immediately after breakfast, alongside a small amount of healthy fat, like a spoonful of full fat yogurt or a few almonds, to enhance absorption. Consistency was key. D every single day via sun or supplement. Lunchtime, vitamin E boost. Frank didn't add another pill at lunch. Instead, he focused on food sources rich in natural vitamin E. His simple habit: he always included a small handful, about 1 ounce, of raw almonds or sunflower seeds with his lunch. Sometimes he'd add a generous drizzle of extra virgin olive oil over his salad or veggies. This provided a steady influx of natural mixed tocopherols throughout the day. If his diet was light on these foods consistently, we added a natural mixed tocopherols capsule taken with his largest meal, lunch, or dinner, which contains some fat. Evening wind down. No specific supplement timing here for these three, but Frank focused on relaxation and preparing for good sleep, crucial for hormone balance and recovery. He might have a small magnesium supplement or herbal tea if needed, but the core trio was covered by lunchtime. The Frank results. Within just a few weeks, Frank started reporting tangible changes. He had more consistent energy to actively play with his grandkids instead of just watching them. His interest in intimacy naturally resurfaced as his energy and confidence grew. He described feeling more like himself again, not some artificially younger version, but a stronger, more resilient, more present version of the man he was, grounded and capable. The core truth Frank embodied is this: you don't need an arsenal of dozens of pills or convoluted, time consuming rituals. What you genuinely need is a steady, sustainable rhythm. You need the right nutrients in the right bioavailable forms, delivered consistently. And perhaps most importantly, you need a mindset that firmly declares, I am still actively in the driver's seat of my health. Because the empowering reality is, you absolutely are. As we near the end of our time together today, I want to leave you with one final, deeply important message, something I believe every man over 60 needs to hear, but sadly, so rarely does. If you've ever lain awake at night wondering, is it too late for me? Have I passed the point where I can genuinely feel strong, desired, energetically alive, and fully engaged in my own life? Please lean in close. The answer, grounded in countless transformations I've witnessed over 3 decades, might genuinely surprise you. Closing thoughts. It's not too late. Reclaiming your vitality. If you've stayed with me this far, invested your time and attention in this vital information, I want to shift gears for a moment. I want to speak to you not just as Dr. Lucy, the clinician, but as someone who has had the profound privilege of sitting across from thousands of men, just like you, over more than 30 years. Men who've built careers, raised families, weathered storms, and contributed meaningfully to their communities. Men who now, in this rich chapter of life, find themselves grappling with a quiet, persistent question: why doesn't my body feel like the reliable partner it once was? Where did that effortless strength and spark go? Please understand this. That question arising within you is not a sign of weakness or failure. It is, in fact, a powerful testament to your enduring spirit. It signals that you are still very much in the fight, still actively searching for the strength, the energy, and the deep connection that make life feel vibrantly meaningful, purposeful, and worth fully inhabiting. That indomitable spirit is something I respect more than I can adequately express. We've journeyed through the specifics today. Vitamin D, your circulation's essential spark plug, working to open those vital pathways and restore robust blood flow where you need it most. Vitamin B12, the indispensable cellular energy generator, fueling your brain, muscles, and stamina from the ground up. And vitamin E, the crucial vitality protector and hormone supporter, shielding your system from silent damage while helping maintain the hormonal balance central to your masculine essence. But the true power, the life-changing potential, doesn't reside merely in knowing their names or even understanding their functions. The real transformation unfolds when you consciously choose to integrate them into the fabric of your daily life, consistently with intention, using the high quality forms your aging body can actually utilize. The undeniable truth, witnessed repeatedly in my practice, is this: these foundational nutrients do far more than just support isolated bodily functions. They actively support your core identity, your innate confidence, your tangible presence within your most important relationships. They bolster your fundamental ability to wake up each morning feeling like yourself, grounded, capable, and ready to engage with the day. I've seen this shift happen far too many times to ever doubt its possibility. I've watched men who were utterly convinced their best, most vibrant years were irrevocably behind them discover a potent second wind, a resurgence of energy, passion, and confidence that fundamentally reshaped their experience of aging. Men who reconnected deeply with partners, pursued neglected passions with renewed vigor, and embraced their later years not with resignation, but with authentic gusto. So, the pivotal question now is simple: what now? Ultimately, the next step rests entirely with you. You can absorb this information, find it interesting, perhaps even compelling, and then let it gently fade into the background noise of daily life, sitting unused on a mental shelf. Or you can choose to act. You can decide, starting today, to consciously give your body the fundamental building blocks it's been quietly, persistently asking for. You can commit to taking that morning walk in the sunlight, selecting that high quality B12, incorporating those vitamin E rich almonds into your lunch. You can make a deliberate, powerful choice to say yes to your health, yes to your vitality, and a resounding yes to your future. Because here's what I know with unwavering certainty, forged through decades of clinical experience: it is not too late. Not even close. You still have ample time to feel tangibly stronger in your body. You still have time to rekindle deep connection and intimacy. You still have time to step fully into being the man deep down, you truly are, fully, boldly, and without apology. Showing up here today, investing your time and attention in this message, means you've already taken the crucial first step towards reclaiming that vitality. Now, the power and the opportunity are yours to take the next one. If this discussion resonated with you, if it offered valuable insights or even a glimmer of hope, please don't keep it to yourself. Go ahead and hit that like button. It genuinely helps us understand that this content is making a real difference in men's lives. Share it with a friend, a brother, a father, a workout buddy, or anyone you care about who might be silently struggling with these same issues. Your share could be the nudge someone needs to start their own journey back to vitality. And if you have a moment, leave a comment below. Tell me what part of this resonated with you most powerfully. Share your own experiences or challenges. Or let me know what specific health topic you'd like me to dive into next. Your voice actively helps shape the focus of this vital community. If you believe in the mission of this channel, providing practical, science-backed health information specifically for men over 60, and want to support us in creating even more content like this, please consider making a small donation. Every contribution, no matter the size, directly helps fund deeper research, improve the quality of our videos, and crucially, reach more men who desperately need this knowledge, but might not yet have found us. Remember, you're not just a passive viewer here. You're becoming part of a growing movement of men taking proactive charge of their health and vitality in their prime later years. I am truly grateful to have you here. Before you go, take a second to tell me in the comments, where are you tuning in from? Your city, your country? I make it a point to read every single comment, and it genuinely means a lot to connect with you personally, to understand the global reach of this shared journey. Don't forget to like this if it helped. Subscribe for more vital updates, prioritize taking excellent care of yourself, and I absolutely look forward to catching up with you again in the next video. Stay strong.